Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Mariesvermont Creations, and today is day 8 of the Countdown to Christmas card series with myself and Michele from Scrap Secrets. And the theme for today is vintage. So I decided to do a 5x7 card, and these are the supplies that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take my card base, which is just some white cardstock that's cut to 10 by 7, and you score it at 5 to make a 5 by 7 card. And I am just taping off the back of my card so that I don't get ink everywhere, because I am going to use some distress ink in Vintage Photo. I have just the little cubes and a foam blender, and I am going to ink blend all around my card base. You could use a mat of brown cardstock if you had it. I just thought in order for everything to kind of match, I would go with inking it up. This is sort of my vintage look. When I think of vintage, I think Vintage Photo, distressed. I'm not sure when I'm all finished what you guys think, and then I will show you a second project and then come back to this one without the ink blending on my panel and see what you think. You guys have to let me know down in the comments which one you like better. So while I'm ink blending, I'm going to do this, and then I have a cream colored panel which is slightly smaller than the front of this that I am also going to ink blend. While I'm doing that, I just thought I would talk to you a little bit about the series. This is the second year that I have joined Michele from Scrap Secrets to do her Countdown to Christmas series. She's done it multiple years, but this is the second year that we've done the full series together. We have 25 projects for the series, 2 a week. So that is a total of 50 for this year and 50 for last year. So between the 2 years, you're going to have 100 videos of great inspiration. We tried to select themes and techniques or products that we hadn't used for last year. So trying to give you unique different items, so that you have inspiration. We're not doing the same thing over and over again. I will link Michele's channel down below so that you can go check and see what her vintage project will be for this week. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them for me. We will have prizes. I am about, as of this voiceover, about, I think, 26 subscribers away from 1,000. So I appreciate everyone who has subscribed and was already subscribed. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So I'm getting there. If I do reach that milestone during this series, I will give an additional prize. So then that will be randomly selected by a video that I choose that's in this series, and just using the comments from that. So back to the card. I am using this lovely Santa stamp from Honeybee Stamps, and I am stamping this, inking it up using also Vintage Photo, but I decided to use Distress Oxides. I do find that Distress Oxides stamp better than the Distress inks, and I was able to get this done without having to redo it, because sometimes I shift it and make myself a mess. And my sentiment is also going to be from this same stamp set, but I am going to stamp that using Lumberjack Plaid. I just give it a little pop of red, and I have a layer there that you can see to the right hand side that will also be underneath this panel, so that will tie them together. And I just wanted it to have a little bit of color. I wasn't sure if I wanted it just to be all these tan, so I thought a little bit of color here would be good. I'm cleaning this off because I thought that I had smeared the Vintage Photo onto my stamp, and I was going to stamp it down and it would be brown and red. Turns out my Misty was just dirty. So it was all fine. I could have stamped it down, but I didn't know it at the time, so I just took it off, cleaned everything, and started over so that I didn't manage to screw it all up. And then once I get that done, I will just use my Barely Arts glue and adhere all of my layers together. You could embellish this. You could color in your Santa if you wanted to, with some colored pencils would be nice. I opted to just leave it very simple. These would be, good if you wanted to make multiples. These would be easy to do. And that is just a red panel from my stash. This cream colored and the red panels are very lightweight cardstock, so they're not bulky. My card base, though, is heavyweight white cardstock, so that can give some heft to the card, but these layers don't add extra to it, so they're kind of thin, as you can see. And then I will just add some glue to the back of this and get it adhered to my card. At this point, I was debating if I like this look that I was going for, or did it just look dirty? I wasn't really sure, but it's one of those things, if you walk away and come back later, you have a different perspective on it. But this is just lined up, so you could see that I have that nice brown border around. And like I said, you could use cardstock for that if you didn't want to do the ink blending. And then once I get that card complete, that is going to be project number 1. And because it was fairly simple, I thought I would show you another quick and easy vintage looking card. So this one will be an A2 size card, and it couldn't be any simpler. This one is going to be very quick and easy. So I have these panels, which are from a card kit. They are Tim Holtz Ideology, but it had a very vintage look to me. So then I used the same red panel that I'd used on my previous card, but just a smaller one for my A2 card. And I'm just adhering that down. This is going to cover my entire card base, which is an A2 size, which is, side folding. I did end up having to pick that up and put it back down, but I saved you from watching me do that because heaven forbid I lay something down straight the first time. Just positioning it to make sure that it's going to fit on my card. And I am just going to coat the back of this with the double-sided adhesive. This way it is, less noticeable. If you had a Xyron sticker maker big enough to put this through, you could definitely do that. But I don't. Mine's just a small one, so I am just coating it with all of this, and it makes it less. Obviously you can see that there's glue back there, but it is not as distracting as if I dotted it in a few spots. By coating the whole thing, I think it gives a better smooth look for it. And that is going to complete that card. And then I'm just going to go and show you both cards and then the panel without the ink blending, and you guys will have to let me know which one you prefer better. So I'm just going to lay it over there so you can see, and then with the ink blending as well. So I hope that you like today's projects. I will link Michele's channel down below. I hope you'll go check it out. And as always, I hope that you all have a great day.